She came home after a 20-hour day, exhausted, broke, and with the smell of her night job still on her clothes. And her stepfather's first words weren't "thank you." They were "you're useless." That was the moment the responsible eldest daughter died, and the moment I decided to make them all feel exactly what it's like to have nothing. This is a story of financial vampirism, cultural guilt, and the one final insult that broke the camel's back. If you've ever been taken for granted by someone you loved, if you've ever dreamed of standing up for yourself and finally getting the last laugh, you need to hear this. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Meet our protagonist. Let's call her Maya at 22. Maya was a recent college graduate, armed with a degree in tech and a heart full of ambition, but the job market was tough after a layoff. She was surviving on part-time work and small freelance gigs. Her bank account was a fragile thing, a tiny life raft in a choppy sea, but to her family, that raft wasn't hers to keep afloat. It was theirs to climb onto, and they were determined to sink it with the weight of their demands. First, her mother. She already had Maya covering her phone bill, the car insurance, daily expenses, but it wasn't enough. Now she demanded a $300 monthly allowance, a straight-up salary for the privilege of being her daughter, and any hesitation was met with the ultimate guilt trip. "I took care of you, so you should take care of me." A transactional view of love that made Maya's stomach turn. Then, the free labor. Her mom and stepdad both ran small businesses. They didn't see Maya's tech skills as a career. They saw them as a free resource. "Build me a website, fix this for my friend." And then there was the family jewelry business. Maya would pour her creativity into designing custom pieces, even fronting the money for materials. But at the end of a sale, her mother would pocket every single cent, money from Maya's pieces and her own, leaving Maya with nothing but exhaustion and depleted supplies. The injustice reached a fever pitch at a jewelry show. Picture this. Maya comes straight from an overnight shift. She's running on fumes at 8 a.m. She's dealing with a $900 car repair and new tires, busted brakes obliterating what was left of her savings. Then she works the jewelry event all day, smiling, selling, pretending everything is fine, and then she goes right back to her night job, a 20-hour marathon of work for absolutely nothing. And it didn't stop there. Her older sister, 30 years old, couldn't make rent, so what did the responsible Maya do? She drained her savings, what little was left, and sent her $500, a lifeline. And her mother's response? Not pride, not gratitude. She told Maya to just pick up more shifts to keep the money flowing. And let's not forget her father, living out of state while spending his own money on alcohol. He constantly badgered his broke, exhausted daughter for cash, for himself, for his friends. He was just waiting for her to get that real job, so the faucet would turn on full blast. His audacity hit a new low when he demanded she pay for a trip to Africa for a family party, and then a Christmas vacation to London when Maya, voice trembling, said she couldn't afford it. He weaponized her love against her. "You save for things you care about," he spat, before hanging up on his own daughter. The final straw came a few weeks later. Her mother asked, point blank, how much was in her savings, and Maya, defeated, told the truth. Nothing. She explained about the rent for her sister, the car repairs, the trip to see her dad where he told her, "You're an adult. No one pays for you." She was completely empty. And her mother's reaction? She got mad. She was angry at Maya for having nothing left to give. The sheer entitlement was a physical blow. But that wasn't the breaking point. No, the breaking point was cultural and cruel, coming home from one of those soul-crushing overnight shifts. All Maya wanted was a shower and 5 minutes of silence. Her stepfather took one look at her and laid into her. She was useless. She was dirty. Why wasn't she in the kitchen cooking for the house? If she tried to cook their traditional West African food, it was never good enough. Never like her mother's. She was criticized for staying in her room, for trying to have a sliver of a life outside of being their ATM and unpaid servant. That night, lying in bed, the words echoed useless, dirty, lazy. She looked at her empty bank account. She felt the ache in her bones from constant work, and she realized she wasn't lazy, she was being blood dry. The responsible eldest daughter was a cage they had built for her, and it was time to break the lock. The revenge wasn't a scream, it wasn't a dramatic scene. It was quiet, calculated, and absolute. It was death by 1,000 cuts. Reversed, she logged into every account her mother's phone bill. Canceled the line was under her name. She called the insurance company and removed her mother's car from her policy. The monthly allowance, obviously, gone. She closed the joint bank account her mother could sometimes guilt trip her way into. She built a financial fortress around herself, and she pulled up the drawbridge. The free tech support terminated when her mom texted, "Hey, my friend needs a website." Maya replied with her new freelance rates. Triple what she'd charge a normal client, family discount. But we're family. Her mom protested. Maya simply texted back, "My skills are not a family resource, they are my livelihood. The rates are as stated." Then she stopped replying to work requests altogether. This was the masterstroke. She had designed those pieces. She had the client lists, the digital records, the social media logins. She quietly created her own independent online store. She reached out to the best clients herself. "Thank you for your past business. Going forward, I will be operating independently. Here is my new portfolio." She took what was hers, her talent, her relationships, and she monetized it for herself, and herself alone. The calls came, of course, frantic, angry. "How could you do this to us? We're family. You were so selfish." This time, Maya was ready. Her voice was ice cold. She didn't yell, she simply stated facts. She listed every dollar given, every hour of free work, every insult, every demand. She ended with her stepfather's words from that fateful night. "You called me useless, but it was you who were useless without me. I am not your bank. I am not your servant. Do not contact me again for money, ever." And then she hung up. So what happened? The fallout was immediate and beautiful. Without Maya's money, her mother and stepdad's financial house of cards collapsed. They couldn't maintain their lifestyle, the jewelry business. It cratered without Maya's designs and tech savvy. They were exposed. As for Maya, with all that energy no longer being siphoned away, she finally landed a fantastic tech job. She started saving. She bought a new car with tires and brakes that she paid for. For the first time, she could breathe. She could plan. She could just be. The guilt tried to creep back in sometimes, but she'd remember the feeling of being called useless while working herself to the bone, and the feeling would vanish. She had not been selfish. She had been a survivor, and now she was thriving. This story is a powerful reminder. Helping family is a choice, not an obligation. It should come from a place of love, not coercion. And when that help becomes exploitation, when it costs you your sanity, your future, and your sense of self, the most revolutionary act of revenge is to simply stop, to choose yourself, because you are not a resource to be drained. You are a person to be valued. So what do you think? Was Maya right to cut them off? What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed or taken? Share your stories in the comments below. We read every single one. If this story of justice hit home for you, show us some love with a like and subscribe for more tales of karma delivered just right. Until next time.